Good afternoon, Big D. Ready to discuss the Las Vegas Raiders clean house and my wild card picks. Before I get started, please subscribe, like, and share the Driving the Top Productions and the Spunky Spectrum Sports YouTube page. We greatly appreciate. Like, subscribe, share the stream. You can also check me out on my Twitch page, Facebook, YouTube. Also, check me out. Hopefully, Spotify and Apple. Most all thoughts and prayers go out to everybody affected by the recent wildfires in the Los Angeles area. Thoughts and prayers are with you, and hopefully, the firemen out there can put out the fires because I hate what's happening there. I mean, who knows why these fires started, but hopefully this ends quickly. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's fishy that all these $1 million plus homes are now burned to the bottom of the Pacific Ocean. So, but Las Vegas is the gambling capital of the world, and to be honest with you, the Raiders seem to be gambling with every decision. I don't know what it is, but the Raiders just can't seem to figure out anything, whether it be a quarterback, a head coach, a general manager, a pick even. The Raiders seemingly screw up more obvious suggestions. I mean, even this year, the Raiders won a couple meaningless games and potentially cost themselves a chance of getting one of the quarterbacks. And now, earlier this week, the Raiders fired Antonio Pierce. Well, today, the Raiders officially clean house by firing GM Tom Pelissero. Now, Tom had just been there for what, a year? He was the former top Charger GM, so. And it felt like an odd move, firing the head coach and then firing the GM, especially when Tom Telesco really nailed the Brock Bowers pick. But I've got a feeling that Raiders minority owner Tom Brady, yes, the Tom Brady, TB12, the GOAT himself, was behind this move. And this talk whether Bill Belichick would leave North Carolina to coach the Raiders. I think if Belichick went back to the NFL and be on the East Coast, Bill Belichick doesn't fit Las Vegas. He would fit Philadelphia, New York, or maybe Buffalo if all heck broke loose. But I don't see Bill Belichick going there. I think Tom Brady wants to get his own guy. But the Raiders have to settle on somebody. They've gone through. I mean, the Raiders are going to be paying 4 coaches next year, 3 who aren't even there. That being Gruden, Josh McDaniels, and Antonio Pierce. And I thought the Raiders were like one of the poorest owners in the league. I mean, I thought Al Davis last few years didn't really handle things well. Mark Davis just can't figure out a head coach. He's like, you're going, you're going, you're going, you're going. They try and get these middling quarterbacks, Gardner Minshew, Aiden O'Connell, Carson Palmer back in the day, Jason Campbell. The Raiders need a long-term answer because look at the other 3 quarterbacks in the NFC West. Pat Mahomes, oh yeah, the best quarterback in the world. Justin Herbert, a top 5 quarterback. And then Bo Nix, I mean, if not for Jane Daniels, Bo Nix would be winning Rookie of the Year, and he still might be. But the Raiders go into one of the NFL's hardest divisions with the 4 best head coach and the 4 best quarterback every single week. And frankly, the Raiders need a top-notch head coach and a top-notch quarterback. Only problem is they can't get either. I mean, whether Antonio Pierce and Tom Telesco should have been fired, who knows? But I don't think the Raiders are going to win anything. There are certain teams that can't get anything right. My Jags are one. The Browns can't figure out quarterback. Lord knows on the Jets. Oh gosh, the Bears. Oof, they're all some stinky teams for me. Why can't we all be the Ravens or Chiefs bound for Super Bowls? I mean, the Bengals are so incompetently cheap. It's just, oh gosh, the Titans. Titans. The Colts. I mean, they were just some bad, badly run teams. Oh, hopefully these teams don't all suck, but it's annoying me how the Raiders can just not figure out anything. Now, is there a chance the Raiders could potentially get Deion Sanders and what should do with Sanders? I mean, who knows? I might walk, but what you don't want to be in Vegas. Vegas, yeah, playing half the games in a dome, but still in the division with Jim Harbaugh, Sean Payton, and Andy Reid. Oof. And probably the full best quarterback any given week. The Raiders need to find a head coach for the next 4 or 5 years and a quarterback for the next 10 to 12 years. Otherwise, they're just going to keep running through coaches, GMs, and quarterbacks because this has got to stop. The Raiders aren't going to win anything in the AFC West by firing GMs, coaches, and quarterbacks every single year. They're not going to get the top guy. Mike Vrabel is not going to be the Raider head coach. Ben Johnson, all likelihood, not going to be the Raider head coach. Jim Harbaugh, well, yeah, I'll be the Charger head coach because they've got a quarterback. But this is enough. Come on, Mark Davis. Get yourself a coach, get yourself a GM, get yourself a quarterback, and then put an end to firing everybody. As for Tom Telesco, I mean, he's been sacked by two AFC West teams the last couple of years. And not Tom Telesco's fault. I mean, could argue the Raiders needed a quarterback last year. I think Brock Bowers looks like a really smart pick, even though they drafted Michael Mayer the year prior. It just, end up with an incompetent team, and guess what? You're booted. So, who knows what this means for the Raiders, but Vegas might be better without a coach and GM. Who knows? I don't think that will happen, but maybe Raiderless, coachless. I don't know. As for wildcard weekend, unfortunately the Raiders won't be taking part, but that's either near there. Um, Interesting matchups. We've got 2 games Saturday, 3 games Sunday, and then one on Monday. Start off with the Chargers and Texans. And by the way, the Charger injury report could be interesting with Josh Palmer likely out, if not out. J.K. Dobbins and Quentin Johnson questionable. So potentially LA's biggest deep threat wide receiver and best running back are not available. But to be honest with you, I thought Jim Harbaugh was the perfect fit for the Chargers. LA needed a big boy head coach. They couldn't go after one of these coordinators, couldn't go after a first time head coach. They needed a leader. And Jim Harbaugh was the leader of men, you know. Mom's yelling at me about our scratchers. Yeah, Mom, sorry, I got the wrong ones. My fault. But Justin Herbert this year put together a very efficient season, 23 touchdowns, 3 picks. And I mean, it wasn't all running the ball. I mean, Herbert put together big games. I mean, the relationship Herbert and Landon McConkey's developed was special. But something we haven't seen before, the Chargers play defense this year. I think the Chargers like number 1 or 2 in the NFL this year. Yeah, even though Jim Harbaugh played quarterback, you think this team's physical, control the line of scrimmage, don't allow big plays. Well, the Chargers this year did a much better job controlling the line. A scrimmage. I mean, let me look at this. Let me. Ooh, gosh. Yeah, Chargers number 1 in the NFL this year allowed 17.7 points a game. Which is a far cry from 23.4 points under he who shall not be named last year. But Jim Harbaugh, Jesse Minter, a lot of the same players. I mean, Derwin James, Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack, all playing well. But the line play has made the biggest difference. Joel and right tackle have given Herbert more protection. Herbert's never been better. Land McConkey looks like a stud slot receiver. Quentin Johnson, when he's not dropping passes, at least a competent wide receiver, not a total bust. And J.K. Dobbins, when he's healthy, has been really, really productive. But the Georgia defense is so much better than what it was. And frankly, get the coach, get the quarterback right, and all of a sudden you go from disappointing to a playoff contender. And frankly, I don't know what to make of the Texans. Even excuse me, even though the Texans won the AFC South this year, there were concerns. I mean, CJ Stroud's not played well this year. Went from 23 touchdowns and 5 picks to 20 touchdowns and 12 picks this year. Now, part of it was injury. Stephon Diggs and Tank Dell were both lost the year with knee injury. And secondly, Houston's offense has just been bad this year. Let me see if I can share this tweet from Ryan Heath I saw. Since Nico Collins returned in Week 11, the Texans ranked 28th in adjusted net yards per attempt, 24th in EPA per play, and 28th in passing yards per game. By the way, the New England Patriots are better than the Texans in all 3 of those stats. Houston's offense is not creating anything. Now, this week, I mean, Houston was seemingly the 20th year in a row playing the 4:30 game of Wild Card weekend. I don't think Houston's offensive line outside of Laremy Tunsil's great. The weapons aren't great. Joe Mixon seemingly fatigued a little bit, and I don't know. Maybe people figured out Bobby Slovak's offense, but it's it's problematic. I mean, you hope it's not it's just a sophomore slump and Stroud can get it together, but how can he go from putting together in a historic rookie season to this? Any case, I mean, LA's a 3-point favorite, and based on how both teams finished the year, you would think the Chargers be more than a 3-point favorite. Right. But not just with the coach, the quarterback, and the multiple ways LA can win a football game. I mean, who knows what Houston's way of winning Saturday afternoon will be. And then Saturday night, how about another Steelers Ravens classic? This one wild card style. I mean, you know, talk about limping to the playoffs. Steelers limped to the playoffs badly, 0 for 4. Russ didn't, and the Steelers didn't put up 20 points in any of those games. And I don't think Pittsburgh's got a great offense other than George Pickens. You couldn't name a wide receiver. I mean, Freiermuth's okay. The running backs, whatever. But this team lacks weapons. And frankly, the Steelers spend too much money on defense, not enough money on offense. There's not enough weapons, and frankly, not a good enough quarterback. And I mean, yes, we know Tom's Hall of Fame coach. Excuse me. But maybe it's time for a change in Pittsburgh. I mean, would Mike Tomlin work for, let's just say, the Bears? I mean, Mike Tomlin could be that leader of the men, the monsters in the midway. He'd be tough on Caleb. He'd be perfect in Chicago. And Pittsburgh would be the perfect place for like a Ben Johnson, one of these coordinators. Pittsburgh is never going to be bad because the Steelers always win. Bad year for Pittsburgh's 9-8. Good year for Pittsburgh's 12-5. I mean, are the Steelers going to win? Are the Steelers ever going to win a Super Bowl, especially with a below-average quarterback? What?
Pieces here.
I like, and then so I'm gonna have to end the stream a little early. I like, and then Ravens. I think Baltimore's a serious Super Bowl contender with the head coach, quarterback. It's just, can Lamar get over the playoff demons? And Sunday, I like the Bills, Packers, Bucks, and Rams. Ultimately, if you want a long-term Super Bowl pick, I think we get Rams, Chiefs in New Orleans. Yes, I might be the only person in America picking the Rams. That's okay. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. This is the Big D signing off with the Raiders Clean House and my brief wild card preview.